Hey guys, welcome to Forcible UK. Now, there's a bit of confusion going on, which I've seen, where what sets, what releases are there, what product is coming out, and it's all a bit confusing. So I'm just going to take a couple of minutes to explain it to you guys. So, the game itself originally came out in Japan about 2012, 2013, and it started off with 3 sets, which came out subsequently, so a couple of months between them. The first set was Dawn of Valhalla. Next one was like War of Valhalla, and the last one was Shaft of Light of Valhalla. So they got 3 sets. That was the Japanese only. A year later, at the start of 2014, Europe got the game as well. Now, because they were already 3 sets behind, it needed catching up. So they released this one, the Dawn of Valhalla, which contained all set 1 and half of set 2, the Japanese sets. So it's kind of like speed up, get the cards out faster. So then in the second set, which we got for English, the War of Valhalla, it contained the remainder of the second set and the third set. So we were completely up to date, and both player bases, the Japanese and the Europeans, were going to get the same next set at the same time. Right, so that's Valhalla. Now, after Valhalla came out, these 3 sets, we had our national championships, and it was good, it was fun. So we had 3 whole sets to build cards out of, to build decks out of, sorry. But for the World Championship, the next set premiered, and it was decreed that only this one set we could use to build our decks out of. It was different to these previous sets, and we also got given a slightly different rule book to go with it, set of rules as well. Because what actually happened was, in the first 3 sets, or 2 sets I guess, there were quite overpowered cards. Like, for example, this card in particular. I don't know if you can read it, if that camera focuses or not, but what it pretty much says is, at the beginning of your end phase, draw until you have 7 cards. So you'll have, every turn, 8 cards in your hand, because you have 7 and you draw 1 per turn. So yeah, having constant hand advantage is insanely good. It was overpowered. Every deck which won an event had 4 of those main decks and ways to get out really early. So yeah, and there was also other overpowered cards. So this is my way of thinking that because of these overpowered cards, they released the new sets were only for this one format, so they kind of cycled through it like they do in Magic, I guess. This new set which came out was called, what's it called again? It's got a red box, I can't remember its name. CMF, Crimson Moon Fairy Tale, there we go. And yeah, so these are the boxes, these had 15 packs in. This new box, like this, but red, it's red on this, the set after, had 36 packs and it's really cool. So what they did for this is they took out a game mechanic which was really luck based, called Life Break. Now you might have heard of Life Break since it's on half the cards. It has like a little red line which says Life Break, and if you Life Break it, it does something. And so it's completely random of what cards go there. So it's very lucky if you get a Life Break. Now, because of these overpowered cards and there's luck factors to the game, the developers decided, let's just move on from that. Let's start again. Start with this new set called Crimson Moon Fairy Tale, and we'll see how it goes from there. So that's what they did. So the next set for Worlds which came out was Crimson Moon Fairy Tale. This set didn't have any Life Break cards in it, and it had completely new cards, and it works really well on its own, not with the Valhalla cards. And so the second set came out in December for Europe and Japan. This was called, I'll read it off the box, Castle of Heaven and the Two Towers. Quite a long name, but it was abbreviated to TAT on the cards. So yeah, so the only legal sets really for like main events, big events, are these 2 sets. So you had Valhalla sets, and now we have the Grim sets. So it went 3 Valhalla sets, they got cycled out, and now it's the Grim sets. Now this Grim block is going to have 4 sets to it. The first 2 are already out, the next 2 are going to be out later this year. Now, if you're American, this is kind of be a bit awkward because you're like, these sets are already out, we're so far behind, it's not fair. But for your release now in America, you should be getting both sets straight like with each other at the start of February. So you'll be getting both CMF and T80. So you won't be far behind at all. In fact, you'll be just about ready for the next third set in April, I think that one comes out. But yeah, for main events, it's probably going to be Grimlock. I mean, there are different formats where you can use Valhalla cards, but the two groups of cards don't exactly mix very well because you can create some quite overpowered cards. Like you can just make a deck full of burn cards or a deck out deck, that kind of thing. But yeah, I think that kind of clears it up a bit. So it went Valhalla, they were too good. Let's just try again with Grim, kind of thing. And that's the way I think they went with that. It's not exactly officially went with that, but that's how I think they're doing it. But yeah, there you go. It's a bit of history for you.